What's up, everyone? The day has finally come. We're here. Who would have thought?
Not me.
The long-awaited video of me showing you guys how to do stretch res and MNK settings. I didn't really think I was going to get to this video up until, recent events, for those that have seen. Retiring from the comp scene. But, I'm still around, still playing, still doing my thing. But, yeah, let's get straight into it, guys. So essentially what I'm going to show everyone is just how to do the stretch res first. I know this is probably like the most requested thing whenever you guys watch me when I did still do the stretch res. But it's fairly easy. Like it's super easy. You just have to understand how to do it. This is probably going to be for NVIDIA users. I'm not too sure how AMD does it. Maybe you guys can follow the same steps, but it's really simple. All you guys are going to need is to open your NVIDIA control panel. And you're gonna want to make sure you have two settings on, which is firstly, just make sure you have your custom resolutions on. If this isn't enabled for you guys, this is grayed out. It probably means that you are going to have to just change this one specific setting. It's the DSR factors. A lot of people have this on, and this causes the custom resolutions not to be on. So you just gotta untick these boxes. And then you should be all Gucci. And then you just go to desktop size and position, and you just want to change this to full screen. And you can say perform scaling on GPU. I know a lot of people have display for newer monitors. I think my monitor is a bit old, but if you have display, do it on display. I think it's less intensive for your GPU. It rarely does anything, if anything at all. So, and then we get to the custom resolutions, and you guys can see here the resolutions that I used to run. I have a few new ones here, but I mean, the case still stands. Usually people are going to be playing 1440 by 1080 or some other 1080 res. These all work just fine. Alright, this next part is also really important because it won't work unless you have this command in your launch options or in auto exec. I would probably just recommend putting in the launch options here, since the auto execs have been quite finicky with recent events with people just bug abusing and exploiting with some of those commands. So, this is going to be probably just the safest way. I'm sure you can do it through the CFG still, but this is just how we're going to do it. So I'll put this in the comments down below, but all you're going to want to do is put in this command. And this is essentially just going to enable the game to take away those black bars for you guys. Alright, so I'm just going to use 1440 by 1080 for demonstrative purposes. But so once you get to this home screen, login screen, title screen? Yeah, title screen. Let's go with that. Once you get to the title screen, you see the black bars are top and bottom. So this is probably going to be a step that you guys are going to have to do every single time. I believe if you do make your desktop res the same res that you're using in game, then you can skip this. But I'm not too sure if it works every single time. But this works every single time. If you do it like this, it might be a little bit tedious, but you get used to it. You're going to want to put your game in windowed mode by pressing Control and Enter. And you're going to press it once more to just make it full screen again. Bada bing, bada boom. And you guys saw that the top black bar bumped up, right? You're still going to see this bottom one, but if it looks like this, you did it right. You just launch the game normally. Only thing that you guys will notice is that the UI obviously isn't made for stretch res. They took it out very early stages. So the UI is going to look a little bit different. Oh, here we are. Apex in its full glory. Stretched out of your mind. Go crazy. So yeah, this is the only thing you'll notice. The UI is a little bit bugged. I mean, this is just, I guess, the price you pay. This is, again, just to reiterate, this is 1440 by 1080. This is probably going to be the res most people play. There are slightly different reses. If you don't want to go through all that effort to actually, put your game in window mode, full screen, activate the stuff in your control panel, you could literally just go to a res like 16 by 10. And 1728 by 1080 or 1680 by 1050. These are normal reses that you can play without doing any of those steps that I showed before. But it's personal preference. Most people are going to be playing 1440 by 1080 or 1280 by 1024. And most of these reses will give you quite a significant FPS increase, with the benefit of, lower input delay and stuff like that. So it's really great. I know not everyone likes the look of it, but I prefer stretch res being a competitive player. Like, it's always nice having the game in its best possible state for you to perform as best as possible, but you do lose out a little bit of the visual clarity. if you're a content creator or streamer and whatnot, you know, not everybody enjoys looking at those type of things. I've had my fair share of people, but you know, do what makes you play better. It's usually the go-to. Just add one more thing about the stretch res. It does affect your FOV ever so slightly. You do lose out on a little bit of the horizontal FOV, but it's minuscule. I don't think it's going to be anything major with the benefits that you get from it, because 110 FOV is already more than enough. So anything more than that, anything less than that, you won't really notice. I just felt like I need to add that so you guys do know that that is what's going to happen if it does look a little bit too different for you guys. Alright, but let's jump straight into the settings then. Alright, sweet. Now that the stretch is done, let's hop into the settings. Everything is basically default, most of the stuff. I just have a few things changed here and there. I guess the biggest ones would be that my auto sprint is on. I prefer that. I know there's like some pros and cons to it, that if you try and sprint and shoot, there's a small frame where you finishing the sprinting animation to you raising your gun again. If you have this on, it's with normal sprinting as well, but you'll just have this more commonly happen. If you really care about having that literally point whatever seconds advantage of always being ready to shoot, I would suggest having it off. I just prefer having it on because I like flying everywhere without having to spam shift 24/7. That's pretty great. Another really big thing. Now, guys, this is big. Listen, this is a pro tip, right? I would hope most of you have this off, because if you have this on, this means every time you get damaged, whether you're in a box, in the crafter, anything you interact with, it's gonna bump you out of that menu. So just like the prime example, if you're trying to armor swap mid-fight and you get hit, by the time you get to the armor and the box closes, rip you. You're not getting that armor. You go back to lobby. So I would suggest keeping this off. Then you can freely just, while taking damage, just armor swap. Yeah, the rest is pretty standard. Other than that, I just have usage sharing off because I don't want EA be snooping around on my files, you know what I mean? Anonymous mode on for obvious reasons, and you know, colorblind mode for those who do care. I play it on Detronope because if you look at some of the colors, especially through digis and stuff like that, I think for all of these settings, it's going to be on red if you look through a digi, but Detronope, in specific, people show up as blue if you're looking through digis and scans and things like that. So that is just a nice little gameplay addition that I like, especially when you're fighting in zones and stuff like that, with all, like, everything having this red glare or red lint. Like if you just stacked a bunch of reds on top of each other, it can get quite disorientating. So I would really recommend putting on Detronope. It's really nice. You guys can try this if you really want to. I would suggest, if you do really want to fine-tune your sense and things like that, do use a program like Kovacs or Aimlabs, because that's just gonna enable you guys to completely fine-tune and find the most comfortable sense for you. If you're one of those people that might not enjoy using aim trainers to fine-tune your sense, I do recommend using the mixtape game modes. You do get control and TDM, which is basically perfect. Quick games, you can leave whenever you want. Actually, I lie. Don't leave. The respawn police doesn't like you leaving games. He'll get a 2-minute ban penalty, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, as for the rest, these are my keybinds. Like, it's pretty standard. If you guys want me to elaborate in the comments potentially why I use some of these as I have, feel free to ask. But I'll go through slowly so you guys can see. Like, just to mention, like, quick things that I do like is I have crouch on my mouse for. I do have tap strafing enabled, so it's where you have move forward on your scroll wheel and you have jump on the same time, so whenever you turn corners really fast you can do that. It's a really nice mechanic. But yeah, as for the rest, it's pretty basic. Controller, don't really play controller. I've tried before, you know, it's still busted. I've done some pretty wacky stuff, but literally just with these stock settings, default settings. Say what you will. All right, for the video settings, this is probably going to be the more important part of the settings part. So I do like playing stretch res, like I said. I mean, that's the whole point of this video as well, to show you guys. I have slowly been turning towards more of the normal reses because it just looks better for streaming. It looks a bit better for content. Obviously, it is personal preference. I do care about what you guys see. It's not always what I want to see. So I play 1680 by 1050. It's a nice in between. It's performance friendly. It has good clarity. It does what I need. If I do really feel frisky, I'll do it to 1440 by 1080. But then you'll get the few antis.
But it looks ugly. You know, Gibraltar looks like the size of a truck. Wah.
You know, happens. I can't please everyone. NVIDIA Reflex, you guys can play with this as well. Some people say they have better performance with it off. Some people have better performance with it enable plus boost, because I think it does something with the CPU. Like, it's just the communication between GPU and CPU is a bit better, but you know, I'm not really too familiar about all that. I just play with enable. Works great for me. Literally, virtually everything else is off. Pull up. Imposter. That should be disabled. Guys, everything off, and no streaming budget, just on 2 gigs for me, because I just like things being a little bit more crispy instead of being like the whole clay texture. But yeah, guys, that's virtually it. That's my settings. Nothing fancy, nothing too crazy. I don't use auto execs. I don't have anything extra. I don't know if there's anything extra, but this is it. That's what we do. We are default Andy. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys, especially recently with the announcement of me departing from comp. You know, it's been a big step. Not necessarily something that I wanted to do, but given the current circumstances of our country and just the stuff happening, it's probably just the more worthwhile thing to do and take a step back till we can probably revisit it sometime in the future, or, you know, find something else. But I just want to put this out there so you guys have it. I know it's something that we've been talking about for the longest amount of time, but here it is. It's there for you guys to use and look back to. But yeah, if this helped you guys, I hope it does. Please feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed. I really love speaking to you guys. I love meeting new people. If you guys want to see me play anything, especially Apex, come to my Twitch. I stream virtually every single day from Monday to Friday, except on weekends. Till then, guys, stay safe, stay well. See you guys in the next one. Much love.